Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We discussed the kinematics of sound wave. We talked about the displacement. We talked about the pressure variation of a sound wave. Let us now focus on the energy transmitted with sound waves. Of course, as we have seen in the transverse wave traveling in a string, stretched string, we discussed how much power is transferred. Similarly, while I am speaking now, there is some energy transferred with this sound wave. And the evidence for that my sound or this sound wave which is moving is doing work. And an example of this work is the movement of the particles of air and also the movement of the drum inside your ear is also moving due to this sound wave. So this is an evidence that there is some energy transmitted. Okay, so in order to express the how much energy is being transmitted, we think of the intensity. Let me define the intensity. Intensity tells us of sound wave, tells us how much power is transmitted per unit area. So intensity I, so the symbol for intensity is I, is defined to be how much power, okay, divided by unit area. And you should know that the sound wave is propagating like spheres. Okay, so while I am talking now, let me assume that in front of my mouth there is a part of compression. The air molecules are compressed. Okay, so we can imagine that there is a sphere of compressed air molecules, the center of which is at my mouth. Okay, then this compression will travel toward you at which speed? At the speed of sound. Okay, because this is sound wave, and I keep sending these compressions one after the one, and we call these compressions, for example, the wave fronts. Okay, so here we can talk about area of a sphere because now the sound is moving as spheres. So this is the power. Okay, so I call it P of the source divided by the area, which is 4 pi r square. Okay, so the intensity goes, if this is the source, and would like to find the intensity at this surface, which will be equal. Okay, so the distance from here to there is r. Similarly, here and there it is r. So at the surface of this sphere, right now I am drawing it in 2 dimensions, but actually it is 3 dimensions. So it is a sphere, and the surface of this sphere, the intensity of sound generated by this speaker, which is at the center of the sphere, will be equal because they are all at the same distance, which is r. So the intensity is the power divided by the area of the sphere, which is 4 pi r square. Guess what is the unit of this intensity? It is the unit of power divided by the unit of area. So the unit is watt per meter square. Yes, this is the unit for the intensity. Okay, now if we remember from the previous chapter, for transverse wave, you remember what was the average power? You remember this formula from the previous chapter? Power average was how much? Was 1/2 mu v omega square ym squared. Okay, but that was the average power. Now we would like to find a formula to calculate the intensity. Okay, so the intensity, which is watt per meter square, of course this was in units of watts. Okay, so we have to divide by meter square. Here we have mu, which is kilogram per meter. If we divide by meter square, so the intensity by analogy we can deduce the following formula. It will be 1/2, and V, which is the speed of sound. I replace the speed of the transverse wave with the speed of sound. Omega, yes, it will be omega square. Ym was the vertical displacement. We replaced it in our sound waves with Sm, so this will be Sm squared. And now I replace the mu with, rather than having the mass per unit length, now it will be mass per volume. And what we call this is rho. Okay? And this will give us the intensity of sound wave, which is omega per watt per meter square. I have done this analogy just to make it easy for you, my son, to remember this formula, and also to compare what we had before in transverse waves, the average power transmitted by transverse wave, and compare it with the intensity of power for sound waves. Okay, what is rho here? This is the density of the media, and it is given density of the media and given in units of kilogram per meter cube. Okay, and you can see by analogy this will be in watts, and this is just divided by meter square to replace mu from kilogram per meter to kilogram per meter cube. Okay, so let us discuss the audible range or the tolerance range. What is the range of intensities our human ear can tolerate? Okay, so for a human being, for average, always we talk about average human being, average human ear, we have the range I goes from 10 to the minus 12 watt per meter square. This is the smallest detectable intensity by an average human. There are some people who have, mashallah, more powerful hearing. They might hear less than this, but I'm talking about the average person. Okay, and this goes all the way up to 1 watt per meter square. This is the maximum tolerable intensity our ear can tolerate. Of course, after or higher than this intensity, what will happen to our ear? Will start having pain or maybe some damage to our hearing device. Okay, so we have to be careful about our ears, and we should avoid hearing sounds which are higher intensity than 1 watt per meter square. Okay, so this is the range. And also, please don't forget that we had another range of frequency. There is an audible range frequency, which is 20 hertz up to 20 kilohertz. Okay, let us now give another method of representing the intensity. Okay, as you can see here, this is a very wide range, from 10 to the minus 12 all the way to 10 to the power 0. This is very wide range, and sometimes it is not easy to deal with the intensity of sound. There is another alternative way, which we call it the sound level. Okay, sound level. So the sound level is another way of expressing or representing the sound intensity. Sound level is defined to be beta equals 10 multiplied by log I, the intensity, divided by I0. And I0, by the way, this small or the lower limit of a human tolerance, we call it I0. This is I0, which is the threshold. This is the minimum sound or the threshold that our ear can detect. Okay, so I can replace this with its value, which is 10 to the minus 12. Okay, what did I do? Just a new way of representing the beta, the sound level. What are the units of this beta? We call it decibels. So small d, capital B. So what is the range for a human ear? What are the sound levels that a human ear can detect? So human ear can hear beta if I is the threshold. So 10 to the minus 12 divided by 10 to the minus 12. Okay, so beta ranges from log of 1. What is log of 1, my son? Will be 0. So this is the minimum sound level a human ear can detect, up to the maximum intensity, which is 1. What is 1 divided by 10 to the minus 12 will be 10 to the power 12. Log 10 to the power 12 will be 12. 12 multiplied by 10 will give me 120. Okay, so this is the maximum sound level we can hear. And the units, of course, will be decibels. So you can hear up to 120 with little pain. For example, while speaking now, my sound level goes up and down, but on average, this is around 70 decibels, 75 decibels, 65 decibels. This is the normal conversation, okay? But if you think of the jet engine in the airport, and you are very close to the engine at around 30 meters, this is equivalent to 130 decibels, which is very dangerous to your ear. And this is why workers in the airport who work on the ground close to airplanes, they should protect their ears with these headphones or these protectors. Okay, so please observe these numbers, which are very important. This is a very nice way of expressing the intensity. As you can see, now the range is very narrow and reasonable, only from 0 to 120. If we compare it with this range, which is from 10 to the minus 12 up to 1. Okay, it is very important when you deal with logarithms, you need to review your Math 002 course, because dealing with logarithms need a special concern. So let me remind you of the simple and basic operations of logarithms, okay? You should know, remember, you need this a lot while solving the problems related to sound levels. If you have log A plus log B, okay, this is equal to log A multiplied by B, okay? This is one thing. Also, if you would like to subtract log A minus log B equals log A divided by B. This is second. I give you one more relation. If you have log A to the power n, this is equal to n log A. Okay? There is another one final. So this is first identity, second, third. Number 4 is very important one. If you have A equals log B, this implies that 10 to the power A equals B, because 10 to the power log B equals B. Huh? So these are very important relations. Now, let me give you an example. Also, you should remember that log 10 is equal to 1. And log 1 is equal to 0. Log 1 is equal to 0. This is also another log 1 equals 0. Let me give you another feeling of this sound level. If I now speak with sound level and you hear me, the sound level is say 70 decibels. Okay, and I have my colleague Dr. Makki. He stands beside me and starts speaking, and the sound level is also 70. Okay, so my sound level is 70 decibels, and his sound level at your location is 70 decibels. What will be the combined sound level? Guess what? Be careful. If you go and add 70 plus 70 decibels, it will generate 140 decibels, which is incorrect, because the sound coming from a jet engine in the airport, which is very huge, booming sound, that is around 130 decibels. So my sound and his sound, impossible to generate 140, which is greater than that of the jet engine. So how to solve such a problem? Let me explain this to you. If you want to add sound, don't add sound levels. Don't add the beta. You should add what? You should add the intensity. Okay? So you find the intensity of my sound at your location. You find the intensity of the sound of Dr. Makki at your place. You add the intensities, then you find what is the resulting sound level. So I write this. Please don't add sound levels. Rather, you need to add the intensities. Okay? This is the physical quantity which is added. But this beta is just an alternative way to express it in a more and easy predicted manner. Okay? So if I have beta 1 equals 10 log I1 divided by 10 to the minus 12, and I have another beta 2 equals 10 log I2 divided by 10 to the minus 12. Okay, my son? The combined sound level, let me call it beta, okay, new one. So beta 1 and beta 2, the combined beta will be 10 log I1 plus I2 divided by the threshold frequency, which is 10 to the minus 12 watt per meter square. This is very important concept, without which you cannot solve the problems of the sound level. Inshallah, when we go to the examples, this will be clarified more. Let me elaborate more on this intensity and also on the sound level. You know that the intensity equals the power of the source divided by the surface area of a sphere, which is the power of the sound source divided by 4 pi r square, and this is given in units of watt per meter square. Okay? So what happens as you move away from the source, or the source moves away from you? What happens to the intensity? We assume that the power coming from the source is the same, so it is generating the same sound. So this is a property of the sound source. Okay? So moving away from it, what happens to R? If this is the source, okay, and you are at this distance from it, you will have I. What happens to the intensity as you move away to another distance, R1, and this is I1, this is R2. I2 will be smaller, okay? It is proportional, inversely proportional to R square, okay? So it will drop as 1 over R square, okay? So this is proportional to, equal to power divided by 4 pi R square, and here R2 squared, okay? And here it is power of the source divided by 4 pi R1 squared. So R is small, I will be large. Here R is getting larger, I will be smaller and smaller. What happens to the sound level? If we think about the sound level is 10 log the intensity divided by I0, which is 10 to the minus 12. By the way, it is called the threshold of hearing. Below this intensity, an average human ear will not detect the sound. And the other limit here is called the threshold of pain. Okay, so the pain will start for average person at this intensity of sound. if I plug this formula for I, so this will be 10 log power of the source divided by 4 pi r square, all divided by 10 to the minus 12. Also, as r increases, what happens to the sound level? Sound level will decrease. Okay, so maybe if you have an aeroplane engine functioning and has very huge sound and very noisy sound, if you are at a distance of 30 meters, the sound level is 130, as I told you. There is pain. But if you are very far away from the aeroplane, maybe half kilometer or 1 kilometer, it is not painful at all. Huh? Why? Because you are at very far distance, so we don't expect that to be above 120. It will be reasonable sound, maybe 100 or 90. As you go away farther and farther from the aeroplane, you will get more and more reasonable sound level. Okay, so this is the effect of changing the distance from the source on both the intensity and on the sound level. Thank you.